and affiliates in Nigeria. And to think that this arrest has made not just local news, but it has made international news, where the UK and the USA have also congratulated Nigeria on this very, very big arrest that has been made. And this also tells us something, Omar. What it tells us is that, you know, the international community, they are really following closely, back to back, what is happening in Africa's most populous nation, and that will be Nigeria. Honestly. Well, we'll dig into the discourse this morning, so you best want to keep your ears out, and as well as give us your eyes, your vision, because we host a live streaming television across social media platforms, particularly on Facebook, on YouTube, right, at Eagles FM Abuja. So get onto the YouTube channel now, subscribe to it, leave a comment in the comment section, and be part of this great family. Do the same with the Facebook page wall at Eagles FM Abuja. Give us a like, give us a following, leave a comment as well, and share. It will indeed gladden our hearts, and together we will grow. Alrighty, now let's jump into it. I mean, we have our guest who's going to be joining us you know, via phone call. But yes, as we mentioned, as Omar mentioned, and I concur, he's very seasoned, well-seasoned security expert, and that's in the person of Mr. Salihu Dantata Mahmood. All right, he's going to be joining the conversation via phone call and giving us intel that we probably are not privy to, because he is one of such. Well, I don't know. I mean, the topic, you know, is about, you know, the arrest, or the topic about the arrest of these two top leaders of Jama'atu Ansarul Muslimina fi Biladis Sudan Ansaru, which is an Al-Qaeda affiliate in Nigeria. I mean, it's already making the trends. And quite a number of persons are already raising very critical, you know, concerns and questions. Now, the arrested leaders are Mahmoud Mohammed Usman, who's called Abu Bara, and Mahmoud Al-Najiri, Malam Mahmouda, that's what he's called right there as a nickname. So the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, announced the arrest, stating that it was a result of a months-long counter-terrorism operation conducted between May and July of 2025. And if you are going to be honest with ourselves, right, the Tinubu administration has indeed seen more gains in terms of counter-terrorism, you know, of terrorism in this country. I mean, there's a lot that you might want to say. Yes, if you talk about the economy, maybe, just maybe, we could indeed, you know, want to keep our heads low on that rating. But when it comes to, you know, insecurity in the fight, I mean, quite a number of political observers have said that, look, the Tinubu administration has done its bidding. I mean, the United States, as a follow-up to that story, the U.S. government has commended Nigeria's security forces for the successful arrest of Ansaru leaders Mahmoud Mohammed Usman Abu Ba'a and Mahmoud Al-Najeri Malam Mahmouda. Now, the U.S. mission in Nigeria described the arrests as a significant step forward, I mean, in Nigeria's fight against terrorism and extremism. For the UK now, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, congratulated Nigeria on its extraordinary and significant success. I mean, what they call it is extraordinary and significant success, especially in the war against terrorism, and they praised the security agencies and officers involved in the operation. Right, but let's dig in already into it. Recall that in 2013, Ansaru was linked to several high-profile kidnappings and attacks in Nigeria, including the abduction of 7 construction workers in Bauchi State. Right, and if you also recall too, I mean, Omar, I mean, you and I were having a conversation, right, where you mentioned something about 2022. I don't know what really went down in 2022. You might want to bring that, you know, to limelight just before we get with our guest.
Right. Recall that in 2022, the group was actually linked to the prison break that happened in Kuje, which resulted in the escape of several high-profile terrorists. And The Nigerian security agencies have been indeed working tirelessly to identify and apprehend the leaders of the group. And the arrest of Abu Bara and Malam Mahmouda is indeed a significant breakthrough in this effort. The two leaders have been on Nigeria's most wanted list for years and also internationally wanted.
Right.
Now, we have Comrade Saliu Mahmoud Dantata joining us live via telephone. Good morning to you, Comrade. Comrade, are you there?
Oh, Uncle, good morning. Good morning.
All right, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine.
All right. Comrade, we know for a fact that, it is no longer news that you've carved a niche for yourself and you've been able to garner recognitions over the years, looking at how well you've contributed your quota in terms of proffering solutions to the many challenges bedeviling Nigeria, specifically looking at the security sector. Now, the arrest of these two top leaders of the Ansaru terrorist organization has actually sparked, nationwide and international, conversations. We've seen the United States, we've seen the United Kingdom also come out to congratulate Nigeria for achieving this, great milestone. And the Nigerian government has also made us to understand that this actually took a month-long, a manhunt or onslaught to get this, two top leaders apprehended. Now, the question that comes to mind is, are we indeed winning the war against terrorism, or this is just a charade?
Thank you very much for this wonderful patriotic question. You see, we have said it over and over that with support to our security forces, that is the armed forces, DSS, police, and others, they can achieve by wiping out these non-state actors. Because when you look at the sophistication of the trained members of the Nigerian security apparatus, is in no way comparable to that of the haphazard non-state actors who are trained maybe 1 or 2 weeks by some dismissed, unpatriotic fellows, or even their foreign collaborators and also other things. Be it as it may, it is a very big congratulations to all of us because it is a two-way thing. Just the way the security forces carried out the onslaught intel, that is intelligence gathering that led to their arrests, same way some of the inhabitants also obliged the security agencies of the terrain, geographical setting, as well as ownership involvement, that is some credible civil intelligence information regarding where they are, where they have carried out this and that. So that is collectivity. That is what we are saying and what we've been lamenting, that please let Nigerians, wherever these non-state actors are carrying out their nefarious activities, let them give the security agencies privilege intelligence information. It happened in Kayama local government, it happened in Baruta local government, it happened in Pati, Gela, Fiaji, it happened in Kainji, Wawa, and others, where the inhabitants already knew the towns and villages where these Mahmouda terrorists were, and they also gave such intel to the security agencies. You can see in Wawa, the Department of State Services arrested the Mahmouda terrorist, 33-year-old Abba from Daura, Kagana State. Without the cooperation of the communities, it would have been possible to. Without the firepower, credible intelligence gathering and sharing, and the wherewithal of the security agencies, it would have been possible. So at this juncture, we say salute to our troops, salute to DSS, salute to other security agencies carrying out the onslaught against these non-state actors. You see, like I always emphasize, no country in the world is free from insecurity. This is our flesh of it, and I believe this administration is doing its best, even though the previous administrations even put in their best too. Don't forget the Boko Haram insurgency, for example, started during the Yaradua administration in 2009, even though Yaradua died in office. Jonathan couldn't tackle it fullest. Buhari came, I think it reduced it to some level. Then Tinubu administration is also putting it on base. Yeah. They are both just recording this. There is also need to cite and establish permanent security structures in certain areas. For example, aftermath of robbery, they cited Mopo Squadron. So it doesn't stop the federal government to cite Mopo Squadron military cantonment Air Force base in states like Zamfara, particularly the areas where it's prone to armed banditry, in Kaduna State, in Katsina, in Niger, in Kwara. Borno already has 7 divisions aftermath of Boko Haram insurgency. You also have the theater command there. You have joint task force there. So let other communities that are, at the receiving end of these bandits and insurgents also benefit from that. For example, look at the Nakura. Remnants of them are still tormenting inhabitants of Mera, Augi, Arugungu in Kebbi State. Remnants of them also went to Zuru and carried out some onslaught and nefarious activities and also other things. So beyond just reinforcing, beyond just setting operational squad like Operation Fansanya, Manzamalapi, Adole, and also Army Response, what have you, let there be sighting of permanent security architecture in areas. When you talk about the internal security, is the purview of the Nigerian police complemented by others. But they themselves are not getting better funding, then their apparatus are not sophisticated. For example, the intel of the police force, CID, SIB, and SI, you only see their relevance in state capital and federal capital. Okay. When you go to local government and also other things, nothing to write home about. What stops the dragnet of the force CID, Department of Force Intelligence, DSS, to establish sophisticated and well-equipped security intelligence network of their structures in local government and even some rural areas? That way we help, instead of periodically reinforcing or sending the best corps from the headquarters to go and tackle some of these issues.
Comrade, thank you very much. And just like you rightly mentioned, that this is a major milestone for Nigeria's security sector. And indeed, congratulations are in order. However, comrade, not to be pessimistic about this whole development, but what exactly do you think will be the implication of these arrests that have been made? Knowing fully well that this Ansar organization, they have, this very deep-rooted foundation, not just in Nigeria, but across neighboring, countries.
Al-Qaeda.
I don't think there is going to be any negative consequences, because when you look at them, they are just cowards. They go and operate in isolated areas. How come they don't come where they know they can be easily tackled? Even though we know that the Mahmuda terrorist is linked to Boko Haram, and don't forget the Ansaru terrorist group was that group that former governor of Niger State, Babangida Aliu, during his sojourn as executive governor, evacuated from Mokwa. You remember, they had built houses in Mokwa and what have you. Then when the state governor, then Babangida Aliu, got intervened, he demolished their homes and pursued them. They went and settled somewhere. So it's not to say it is an instant. Ansaru has been there. They were there. They pursued them and what have you. So the issues are with these arrests of their leaders, and again, the armed forces, the police, the DSS and others are still continuing. That is not to say because we captured their leaders. No, they are still continuing with their onslaught, and I believe by the grace of God they are going to wipe them entirely, because we don't need them. These are non-state actors, miscreants, undesirable elements, disgruntled people who feel they can torment our fellow civilians. They are civilians like us. It's just some hazard trainings, some idiots who went and gave to them, and they are tormenting people. It's because our constitution does not give right to us bearing arms. We are to be like United States of America, where people have leverage and bearing arms. They wouldn't do that. That is why the Director General Department of State Services, Ajayi, in one of their get-together was saying, first line of defense is good. But the issues are, even if you are to go by that first line of defense, you want to defend, are you defending yourself with cutlass or dagger or what? Somebody that comes with AK-47, comes with anti-aircraft, rocket propelled grenade and also other things. Is that also what's the line of defense you are going to give to that kind of thing? So I think beyond what we will be speaking theoretically and what have you, there is not going to be any implication. And I want to say Nigerians should support the armed forces, police, DSS to carry out their onslaught, because they are capable, they are trained. You cannot compare the firepower, the skills, and the terminology and strategies of well-trained regular combatant officers from NDA, short service, direct short service, police academy, police colleges, naval training school, air force training school, army depots area, with these miscreants, because I call them cowards and miscreants. These are people that get trained only when we look at Burkina Faso of recent. After they attacked one of their cantonments there, the Burkina Faso, president ordered, they went and wiped a lot of them. So I think Nigeria should continue with our internal security forces. Then again, don't forget the multinational joint task force again is also carrying out its own onslaught at the border areas between Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and also other things. So above all, they are not going to have rest from Rijau, the Operation Fasaya Mars, finishing them. Then look at the DSS arrest of Mahmouda terrorist leader in Wawa. Then in bushes of Kayama, Kaunzi, Nuku, Nanuzi, Okuta, Ilesha, Taberu, Gure, Chikanda, Nyani, Yashikira, Kayama, and Borke local government area, they are not having it easy, the Mahmouda remnant. Then also in Wawa, Aguara, Babana, and also other areas. I believe with the sustained onslaught, they are going to be completely wiped out and taken to where they are supposed to be. It's not our tradition in Nigeria. We are a very peaceful country. Right. We can vividly remember how we assisted Liberia, we assisted Sierra Leone, Yugoslavia, and Congo, and what have you. Then we now say the same military we use to assist to achieve peace in these countries, we cannot use them internally. They are now trying to live up to expectation, and I believe they are going to achieve more than enough.
Well, Comrade, thank you. Comrade, Nigerians are becoming more curious more than ever. I'd like to throw light, to a scenario that we probably are not seeing right away. That scenario is the place of one. In your submission, you said these are miscreants and half-baked or half-trained, miscreants, and. But then, in the place of warfare, even a no strategy can become a strategy. As strategic as our military are or is, why do we still find it pretty hard to combat and wipe out these terrorists?
Completely.
Even when they have no strategy and they're half-baked in training. That's one part of the question. The other part of the question will now be, it is.
Wait, I think let us take your question one by one so that I will. Let me take this.
Right, go ahead.
Let me tell you, these miscreants are non-state actors. They go to areas where already they are used to people, and they know that the security forces, when they want to carry out their onslaught, they wouldn't go and record civilian casualties. Don't forget certain mistakes that were made in the past. It was made in Borno, it was made in Kaduna, Tudumbiri, where drone was mistakenly dispatched. Are you getting me? Right. You still know the casualties that were recorded. So in order to avert those kind of calamities and mistakes, that is why the security forces are always very careful until they gather credible intelligence. And don't forget, some of these non-state actors, they go to some isolated forests. Like I can give you an example of the abandoned forests of Wawa, Kayama, Babana, Kanji, and others. They are so isolated forests where only hunters know. So this terrain, even for you to take some fighter aircraft there, sometimes it's difficult because there could be crash because they are thick forest, jungle, where you have only white animals. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. So it's only the forest guards and what have you we used to call Gandun Daji, and thank God now the president will sign their bill and what have you. You see, the training differs. Nigerian Army are not coastal guards. Nigerian Army are not forest guards. They have their limitation, even though I know in the academy there they teach them geography and what have you, but sometimes there are certain terrains that they will not know no matter what. Even American Marine, it happened to them when they were to go for Operation Desert Storm, where because there are no desert warfare and what have you, you see how initially the Saddam Hussein soldiers had advantage on them and what have you. Then again, look at the Russian-Afghanistan war. Because the Russian military are sophisticated, but they don't know the terrain in Afghanistan. The Afghanistan, what have you, we are finishing them at what have you. So not only to Nigeria, sometimes terrain matters, and those miscreants and non-state actors, they bank on that advantage of going to live among people, innocent civilians. And now, no matter what kind of onslaught the security forces want to carry out, you cannot go and start bombing where you have your own innocent Nigerians. We've had such mistakes, and in order to avert that, they are careful, and that is why you see they have made intelligence gathering key in disguised form, because when you gather intelligence, you know how to now go about it and also. But the terrain is always the problem. Then again, they go and stay amongst people where it becomes very difficult to go and carry out air raid or any onslaught that will lead to civilian casualties.
Yeah, comrade, be that as it may, it is also popular belief that the moment you cut off the head of the Hydra, you would have, destroyed, the other parts of the network. But Nigerians are afraid that with this success that we have registered, hope this will not bring about a reprisal. I mean, it comes to the place of what measures are taken to ensure that these terrorist leaders do not regroup and resume activities again.
Well, let me tell you, of recent, efforts were made, geared up to ensure that even the maritime waters are combed, are surveyed, and the surveillance is carried out. Don't forget, of recent, the Controller General of Nigeria Immigration Service, Kenny Nandap, alongside DIA, DMI, and other sister agencies in Lagos during a workshop, did profile solutions and interacted on how they are going to ensure that illegal immigrants don't come through the waterway, because sometimes some of these non-state actors seize that advantage. Yeah. Then the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ogala, was in Baga too. Baga is in Northeast. They set up that naval base at the beef of the Boko Haram insurgency, where they give some naval boats and what have you. So I think it's not everything we come on air to say on security, but I believe the combined security forces, the Marine, Police, the Nigerian Navy, the others, they are put it together to ensure that even maritime waters. Then we know our border areas are porous. With the clarion calls, I think they are also taking steps. Even the bush parts now, they are taking steps to see how they can be periodically patrolled and what have you. Be it is may. The security forces are also facing their own part of it. One, shortage of manpower. Number two, welfare is lacking the way it's supposed to be. Then they are lacking hazard and insurance. So I think the National Security Advisor's Office should advise the President, let them improve their welfare, their feeding, then introduce hazard and insurance for them in case of injury or maybe death, their warfare against these non-state actors. Then above all, some of these recent procurement, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, recently American government agreed to still supply us some weapons and what have you. That is a step forward. So I believe in the security circle, their strategies are up to date. No matter what their reprisal attacks will be, I think our security agencies will be on top of the situation. And again, like I advised, let there be establishment of permanent security structures in some of these prone areas. Okay. Because sometimes before you reinforce, havoc might have been wreaked and also other things. So I think these are the best way to do it. No matter what their reprisal response will be, I think our security agencies are up to task, and they should enhance their intelligence gathering to areas that are not even affected in order to avoid that. Because sometimes these non-state actors also have their own strategies. While you are thinking about Kwara, you can see them going to Ondo. When you are thinking about Zamfara, you can see them going to Anambra. When you are thinking about Imo, you see them going to Cross River. We don't pray for that. But I believe when the security forces strategize in the better way through enhancement of intelligence gathering, as well as use of modern gadgets, I think they will be above, and just the way they are being above the non-state actors. We can never compare their capability, their strength, and their fiat, and also other skills they learned from their trainings.
All right. Well, comrade, we'll just very quickly head out, pay some bills. We will come back, and when we come back, we will also look into how the international community, is perceiving Nigeria now. Are we indeed now taking this fight seriously against terrorists, and what would be the solutions, as to the way forward, in the light of this development? Don't go away.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Oh, what did they happen now? No bonus for all my line. No panic, as MTN don't carry better gist come. Every 6 minutes you talk, MTN go dash you 3 extra minutes. Fiam to enter MTN better gist. Dial *123 *2 *1 hash or text BG to 312. T and C's apply.
This is Nigeria, where every new day brings a fresh chance to dream bigger, push harder, and live confidently. But true confidence is more than hope. It's knowing that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, you're protected, empowered, and ready for the journey ahead. At Sanlam Alliance, we believe confidence isn't just for a few, it's the right of everyone. That's why we have come together, uniting the strength of a Pan-African giant and a global leader to give you the financial protection and solutions you need to succeed. Because when we come together, we protect more, we achieve more, and we all rise together. Sanlam and Alliance is now Sanlam Alliance. Sanlam Alliance. Live with confidence.
In the world where data is the new oil and cyber threat hide in plain sight, who's guarding your future? Who's preparing the next defenders of the digital space? Step into the spotlight. Join the Institute of Cybersecurity Professionals (ICSP), where you are starting out or you are a seasoned expert. ICSP gives you the edge: training, mentorship, global recognition. Earn your title either as a fellow, member, or associate. Build your career. Lead with confidence. For just 15,000 naira, your journey begins. Call or WhatsApp 07037736911. That is 07037736911 or 07083886662. That is 07083886662 or visit icspng.com. ICSP, empowering professionals defending the cyberspace.
Still the parents for this time when you fit get or buy and make your dreams stand giddy bam. Land banking a promo with cheap pass rent. Reals property don't bring better whoop with just 350,000 naira. You fit become land owner. We get 400 square meter for 700,000 naira. For those who want become landlord for big house, we get 1 hectare for 6 million naira, 10 million naira, and 25 million naira. We get the one for chicken money for Pianco, 400 square meter for 1.7 million naira, 500 square meter for 5 million naira, 900 square meter for 6 million naira. To get your own, oh yeah, you fit green us for 090 66 80 8580 090 66 80 8580 or 090 11 65 3616. Again 090 11 65 3616. Oh yeah, oh, begin they call us sharp sharp.
Basic Cybersecurity Training, Institute of Cybersecurity Professionals, ICSP. In today's world, your data is your identity, but every second, cyber criminals are out there trying to steal it. Whether you are a student, a professional, or a business owner, one careless click could cost you everything. The truth is, cyber threats don't wait, so why should you? This basic cybersecurity training empowers you with the skills to stay safe online. From recognizing phishing scams, to protecting your passwords, to securing personal and business data. This training is designed for everyone. Simple, practical, life-changing. Don't wait until it's too late. Enroll today in our basic cybersecurity training because your safety online starts with you. Duration 4 weekends. Office contact ACCMP Wing, Candlex Plaza, Suite 13, beside FRS, Dusek Junction, Kubwa Expressway, Abuja. Telephone number 070 37 73 6911 070 37 73 6911 or 070 83 88 6662 070 83 88 6662. Register now.
staying with us.
All right. Still looking at a very topical issue that bothers on Nigeria's security, specifically looking at the arrest of top 2 leaders of the Ansaru terrorist organization. And we've been speaking with Comrade Saliu Mahmoud Dantata, who's still very much on the line. Comrade, thank you so much for staying with us. Hello, Comrade, are you there?
Yeah, I'm live and direct with you.
Okay, we have a contribution on the WhatsApp portal sent in by Abbas. It says, I think the Nigerian military should employ the tactics being used by the United States military to defeat insurgency, which is called eliminating the enemies. You don't need to be arresting these terrorists. What you need to do is go after these top terrorist commanders and take them out. Arrest them. Arresting them alone is not advisable for the fight against insurgency. Nigerian military or the DSS have their names. Go after them in a covert operation to eliminate them. It will help defeat these terrorists, more. That's what Abbas is saying. But let's see if we can get more contributions. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, are you with me, Efe?
No, comrade, we're trying to hear from the listener on the other side of the radio.
Right.
Okay, so that's a miss. Now, time is not really our friend, comrade, so we're going to see how we can do the most with the time we have left. I know that Yudi had mentioned that we'll be asking you, the way forward, if really we can get out of the woods at the end of the day. However,